Welcome back, friends, to another episode of the Shout Out Podcast. Oh man, round 3, internationally known, internationally respected, Kieran, Mr. Worldwide Walsh. Totally practiced that before we came on here. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. So you're in Queensland right now, yeah?
I am, yeah. I'm up here for a fight.
Okay, yeah. So how far is that from Canberra? Did I say it right?
So you said it phonetically, you said it right, but you didn't
Sorry.
say it like an Aussie.
Right.
Americans and North Americans, you got to shorten things like Aussies do. We speak way faster, so you got to cut out some of the vowels. So Canberra is right, but we say Canberra.
Canberra, okay. I'll try, man. I'll try.
Or Melbourne. No, it's just you just say Melbourne.
Right, I know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, man. I got you.
So it was about a 2-hour flight this morning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm up here
Nice.
now. Yeah. Mm.
So, now it's Wednesday. When do you have a fight?
It's Thursday.
A Thursday night fight, bro. That doesn't happen around here.
No, we got weigh in today. And then we got the fight tomorrow night. So the fight's on Friday, so it's Thursday today.
Right.
So we got weigh in today, and then we got the fight tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Just one?
Just one.
Nice.
Fights last weekend, fights this weekend, and then Canada next week then, baby. Let's go, man.
Oh, man. So what's, first of all, I got to know, man, how's fatherhood?
Yeah, it's the best, man. I love it. She'll be,
Well,
I
lost you. Can't hear you.
Oh, you got me? No?
Are you there?
Yeah, we're good now?
1 sec.
Oh, your audio's cut out, I think.
Yeah. 1 sec here. Sorry, this happened last week. Just give me a sec here.
That's all right, bro. Good. No stress.
What the Can you hear? Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Weird.
It sounds like it's speak again, talk again.
Yeah, it's coming from my computer, not here, right?
Yeah, it's your camera mic.
What the fuck happened here?
Are you on Windows or a Mac?
Mac. Audio, video, recording, noise reduction. Here we go. All right. All good, man. I got an editor guy. I'll keep using the mic, and I'll get my editor guy to make it sound better.
Wait.
In the meantime, I apologize, man. So how's fatherhood treating you?
The best, man. The best. She's almost a year old. She was 11 months old the other day, so she's almost a year old, which has gone pretty crazy, pretty quick, man. Wild.
Yeah, no kidding. A year goes quick. I thought you were going to say like 3 months.
Crazy, man. Crazy. So fast.
Yeah, man. No kidding. Now, before you come to Canada, you're going to New York. Is that right?
I'm going to be in LA, and then I'm going to go up to, seeing as I'm already going to be over that side, I'll come up your way, and then I'll be over to New York, then Tokyo, and then Bangkok for Davey's fight on RWS. So finish for one of my boys' fights on RWS in December.
So what's bringing you around here?
I had a few things to do, plus see some family over there, and so it was like ticking a few boxes at one time, man. So I
I
forgot
got you.
why not. But I figure I was already close enough, and it lined up with Muay Thai World Cup, and I just messaged Kettle, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come up." And then he said, "Do you want to commentate?" I said, "With Jay." He said, "Of course." I said, "Sweet, bro, let's do it, man. Done.
Yeah, yes,
Let's
let's
go.
go. Can't wait, man. Can't
Let's
wait.
go, man. Let's go."
Now you've commentated quite a few shows yourself, obviously, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, in Australia, I often will just jump on if people need help. I don't consider myself a professional commentator by any means. I think
Sure.
sometimes I can let my bias slip in a little bit, but it's good because I know people in Canada from now having friends in Canada like yourself and a few others that have, I feel like I've slowly learned a little bit more about the North American scene over the years. And
Right.
so, but I'm going in with no biases, no affiliations, no,
Sure.
none of my formerly active friends are fighting anymore in Canada, so we're sweet, man. I can
Okay.
be
Well,
neutral.
I listen, I mean, we've had a few discussions, right? I mean, post show, I know you've seen a few, but I'm obviously just very curious. I've said this to you, not to like stroke you or nothing, but I've said this to other people. When it comes to Muay Thai, like I don't claim to know anything, but I'd like to know. I think I know a little bit, but you're one of the few people who I want to talk to, and when I have questions, I go and ask because you're one of the few people that, as far as I'm concerned, really properly know Muay Thai. So I'm very curious to hear Muay Thai in Canada from your perspective, even though I know you've seen a little bit,
Mhm.
but who are your favorite fighters out here? Yeah, if
It's
any.
it's it's one of those ones where I think, if I was to say my favorite fighters, it's maybe just people that I've become friends with over the years, right?
Sure.
Because it's still a scene that, although I've tried to stay in the loop, if you were to say who is your most active fighter that is currently living in Canada,
Right.
unfortunately for you, I'd say Pet Penamrong because he's living in Canada. But but one thing that I have noticed with the Canadian Muay Thai scene since I was first there, however many years that was ago, like 3 or 4 now,
Yeah.
it does look like it's progressing and it's getting better. And I think that can obviously be a subset of the United States itself is growing, but then also Kieran is continuing to put on shows like Muay Thai World Cup. And I know that in certain areas, like I think it was Vancouver in the past year or two, it recently became legal, right?
Right.
Correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong, for Muay Thai to be contested. So I feel like it's moving in the right direction. I have I know that the difficulties, even in a country like Australia, I've been to America having to deal with like CSAC, for example. I know that you have difficulties with you don't get to pick referees or judges. Sometimes, like we might get to in certain cities or states. And from what I've seen over there, and without being
Just
the
to be honest,
judges
man.
and referees need a bit of work. They're kickboxing referees from the looks of it, and they're kickboxing. So I think that side of it probably still needs some work. But I also understand that it is hard when you have to rely on certain sanctioning bodies or groups or whatever. So yeah, it's developing and I like it growing. But to answer your question, if you were to say who's your favorite Canadian fighter at the moment, unfortunately it's Pep and I'm wrong, man, just purely because he's living in Canada.
Oof. um, and and again, I'm not trying to knock any referees either, but I would say, speaking with you, that was something. I'm not saying they were good or bad, but something that stood out to you was the referee,
Mm,
and I don't mean just the Muay Thai World Cup. I mean kind of across the country, per
mm.
se, even into North or US. But what is it about the refereeing that you see that could be improved?
For me, it's the role of a referee is really important. And the role of a referee can prevent things like, you know, bad knockdowns that shouldn't have been a knockdown, bad calls, how a fighter advances in the clinch. Like the clinch, especially, is a massive one that I feel like a lot of referees get it wrong, like when to
Mhm.
break a clinch and how to break a clinch. And a lot of these things, like at the end of the day, the referee's primary responsibility is the control and safety of the fighters. And if
Right,
they're not doing that properly, they can put their health and safety in jeopardy, but they can also change the outcome in a fight. Like
right,
I mean, if you were to take Australia, for example, like can be quite ruthless and savage when it comes to referees sometimes, even on the smallest of mistakes. And then you take it a step further, and obviously I have, guys and girls who fight a lot in Thailand and regularly at the stadiums and what have you. And even the slightest mistake of a referee there is not do or die in the sense of that, but it can mean a lot.
Right.
It can affect things a lot. And I feel like that is absolutely a crucial and integral part of what every country or city or state who wants to develop their Muay Thai needs to look at. And I'm not sitting here saying that we're perfect, and we're far from it. And I think most countries are, but I think that if any country really wants to look at where they can improve, refereeing and judging is a massive one. But that also comes down to the participants. Like, a lot of people, it's easy to complain, it's easy to bitch and moan, as we say in Australia, about the quality of referees and judges. But at the end of the day, because of the size of our sport, you as gyms need to have like students, ex-fighters who are willing to become referees and judges. Right. It's one thing to criticize. Yeah. It's a different thing. It's like, well, what are you doing to fix the problem? Yes. Criticism is one thing, but I'm not sure you're in a position to criticize if you're also not trying to help or fix the situation.
Right. I mean, I'll just talk from my own point of view. I'll listen to you bitch once. Other than that, like, well, what are you doing?
I mean,
Yep. No, I understand. So for example, I don't want to call anyone out, but there was a fight that I know you and me saw, and fighter got knocked out, hit his head on the canvas, and you and I heard it, and you also heard it on the audio. The ref saying, like, I can't touch him, like almost like he was made out of poison. So even on the way down, and while he was knocked out, the ref explained. I can't remember. I don't know if it was the doctor or coaches, but literally said, like, listen, man, I can't touch him. I'm not allowed. I'm the ref. Now, obviously, we see a lot of highlights in Thailand of refs diving down, catching noodles, and stopping that from happening. But I would imagine it's got to be scenarios like that got to make your eyes bleed.
Yeah, I mean, I understand if there is maybe some sort of like, if there is some sort of rule whereby it's a state rule, or it's a combat sports rule, or it's, a governing body rule. Okay, well, I can understand it. The government says that the referee can't do this. Well, then at the end of the day, that overpowers it. But yes, like, ultimately, it's the referee's job. And it's like, the referee needs to be in a position whereby if the boxer gets knocked out,
right,
you got to do your best.
Right.
And you are the primary caregiver in that moment. All the medical professionals are secondary until they get into the ring. And significant head trauma often happens the same way when you crash a car and your head hits the steering wheel, when you get knocked out and your head hits the canvas.
Yes.
And these are things, but these things come down to positioning, like, where is the referee? And that's why you see all these highlight reels of referees in Thailand diving and catching heads, even on sweeps. But all of that comes down to positioning too, right?
Right.
And how you position and you control a fight. So yeah, things like that, they are hard to watch, man, because I've been around this sport for 25 years and I've seen some pretty horrific things. And I've also had friends who have had their fighters die. So as a result of head trauma from Muay Thai. And those are sort of things over the years, they stick to you. And I think even now, so more and you would understand, being a father, it's like you start to have this different appreciation for life in a way. You're like a little bit less careless or reckless, and maybe a little bit more anxious about those things. And so, I just think you can't take it too lightly.
Yeah. And again, I'm not calling out anyone specific. If anything, that's kind of what a situation we're having going on in Canada right now, where there's so many rules. Like, I'm speaking for Calgary, but the rules inside Calgary are different than the ones if you go 15 minutes west, 15 minutes north, 50, like everywhere you go, it's different. So I know that that's something that they're trying to fix. Because again, who knows what the referee rules are, where that city, that state, that province, who knows?
I'm not to name names, but I know in the past few years you've had fights which have ended controversially in a way that the referee could have prevented. And I know that from watching the scene. people can pick that apart about what fight I'm trying to refer to, but
Sure.
I have seen it, and you know me, like I try to watch Muay Thai World Cup, and I try to watch it because I'm friends with guys like you and Kieran and other people on the scene, and so I try to keep up to date with it and talk to you guys about it. And I know that I have seen fights whereby the blow up online was massive, but it was the referee could have prevented it.
Okay.
And this
Pretty
is
sure
why
I know what fight you're talking about.
this is why refereeing is important.
Okay. Good call, man. Good call.
But you know what, man? They're not perfect either. Like, I'm going to stand there right now and say, like, referees aren't perfect and they make mistakes, and it is what it is. We can't go on a witch hunt hunting after referees. I just think that training our referees is important.
Yeah, no, I always found that interesting. I guess at events, I just know what I know, but not just the Muay Thai World Cup. Everywhere I've been, that it always came back to talking to you. You always had a highlight for the referee, and I admit I was like, man, I was too worried about looking at like the fighters. Like I didn't even.
But you know what? And guys like Kieran Kettle, he's doing stuff with the WBC. The WBC have great R&J training programs, and it's available for everyone to learn. You know, like you can. I mean, the WBC runs courses in Thailand. They run courses internationally. Like there is the ability for people to go and learn and upskill. Obviously, it's on their own dollar, but there is the ability to continue to learn. And I don't think there is a single judge or referee in the world outside of some of the top stadium officials that can sit their hand on their heart and say, there's nothing else I can do, or I can't be any better. You know, the same way that we as coaches, I'm never going to sit there and go, I'm the best, you can't teach me anything.
Right, for sure. No, that's a good way to put it. Are you checking out any of the fight cards while you're in North America?
Any other ones?
Yeah.
I asked ChatGPT, but it looks like Muay Thai World Cup's the only. There was one. I think Sean Madden told me he had some guys on in Toronto maybe the weekend before. I think he said that there was a show on in Toronto the weekend before, but I don't know, man. None in the US. I think I'll miss Warriors Cup by a week or two. I think that's maybe this weekend. So I think I'll just miss Warriors Cup, and then I'm not too sure of. Not too sure.
That's all right. Now, are you staying Saturday night at the hotel?
I am. Yep. Kieran said he's got me a room. I heard it was booked out, so I quickly sent Kieran a WhatsApp just to make sure that I had a room, and he said yes. So we're good, because I've been told that driving to and from Kananaskis at this time of the year can be dangerous. Also, I've been told. Yeah. So
good. Yes. That's all right. Well,
so
we got
ready.
Weights. Better have a couple wobbly pops.
I'm pumped, man. I think the one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and I wanted to ask you, because obviously you're normally the one that's on the other side of these questions, but the fight that you are looking the most forward to.
Well, man, there's two. Well, there's a few, but number one is going to be Quinn. I can't even. I obviously, as a commentator, I got to figure out his opponent's name, but I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but I'll figure that out. But what I do know is Quinn's opponent's looking pretty dangerous, man. He's got a nice high kick and very kind of typical sort of Dutch East Euro style, but man, he looks pretty dangerous. So I'm looking forward to seeing a good hard test for Quinn. And ultimately, that's what I want for everybody. I mean, of course, you want your friends and people you know to win, but I just want good fights. Ultimately, that's all I care about. Just show me a good fight. Kyle Messenger, the guy I usually do the commentary with, he's fighting Mike Doherty, and I know those guys are just a couple of Rams. I did an interview with them a few days ago, so they're just going to get after it. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be fun. So looking forward to that one as well. There's a good couple ones, man.
One that I was talking to a few people about, and someone in particular that we both know. One was Kate and Saz, or they refer to her as Saz, because. So I watched the Instagram video that you did together with them, because I've been trying to watch all your lives in anticipation of this. I'm like, all right, I've got to lock in. I've got to know who I'm commentating. I've got to know some of these main fights that we're going to talk about. And apart from the fact it was like just a lovely conversation between those two, and neither one of them seemed to want to say anything. But it was, so from my understanding, right, it's Kate has the title in the weight division above.
Yes.
and Saz is going up in. Sorry, she is going down to meet
Yes.
Saz, who's maybe coming up slightly. Is that
Correct.
right?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So they are in two complete different weight divisions normally.
Yes.
And how do you see that playing out? Is that
Well, I didn't think about size, to be honest, but Kate's strong. Like she's got like traps, bro. She's strong. So will the weight cut be hard? I don't know. She seems to think it won't be a problem, but I do know that Sahiz is like one of those people, and only getting worse from what I hear, that the second she's done fighting, the next question is, when's the next one? Like I want to fight again right now. So I think it's going to be more of a boxing tilt. I think we're going to see some hands fly. Not that other things can't happen, but I think both ladies feel pretty confident in their hands. So I think that's what we're going to see flying around the ring on the 29th. That's my opinion. But both ladies, very, very good gyms, very good Muay Thai. But I also know that they enjoy tossing some hands around.
And so then it begs the question, because my understanding, at least from what I've had in the past, is that when someone wins a title at 2 weight divisions, they have to give one of them up.
Okay.
So typically we've seen this more recently. So we had in Australia, I think we had 2 instances of it. I think we might have had it with Charlie Barr, but we had it with Kim Townsend. And so Kim Townsend won world titles at 2 different weight divisions. Yeah. And then the WBC writes to you and says, you have to choose which one you're going to keep and which one you're going to vacate, because you can't hold both.
Why?
Because I think then the idea is that it allows for more people to come up, because I think the idea is that if you have a title, you then defend it and you move on to bigger things, as opposed to being stuck defending your title. So I assume they do that for a national title level. I don't know, but I know on an international level, for world titles in particular, if you win a world title, let's say at 154 and then 160, so 69.5 kilos and then 72.5 kilos, you have to pick which one you're going to keep and which one you're going to give up.
Huh. I had no idea.
In the same way that if you held, for example, an international title and you choose to go for a world title, you have to vacate the title that you're going for.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So they have a lot of tricky rules around that. So I'm not sure if they do it at a domestic level, but one thing that I've seen with the international level is guys and girls then have to sit there and go, okay, well, which way do I want to go? Kong Thailand did it when he won the WBC world title. So he won it against Kajaiba in Sydney on 1774. That was the 154, the 70 kilo world title. And then he beat Joe Ryan in Perth for the 72 and a half, the 160 kilo. And he had to choose which one to give up and which one to keep. So,
on that, maybe you can explain this a little bit better too, a little off topic, but I'm sure you know all this as well. But can you also explain what happens? Like if you're a world champ, I couldn't, maybe I'm muddling this up, and you go and get knocked out somewhere else, you now lose your world title. Can you explain that to us too?
If you are a world champion, let's say at 160 pounds, I'm using 154 and 160 because they're the ones I remember in pounds the easiest, as opposed to kilos. Let's say you're the world champion at 160 pounds. You go and take a fight at 160 pounds and get knocked out, you lose your title. Right. If you take the fight at 161 pounds and get knocked out, you don't lose your title. That's my understanding of it. So it's if you get knocked out at the weight that you hold your title at. So let's say someone like me, I'm sitting there and I go, all right, I'm trying to be smart about this. I've got a boy and he holds a title and he's taking, let's say, he's holding a title and he's taking on a big threat against some other guy. Fuck, there's a chance he could get knocked out. I'm going to match that fight 1 pound heavier than what he holds his title at, just in case.
That's awesome.
Just in case, because we've seen it happen more recently. So I remember there was the Muay Thai World Cup where you had, testing my Canadian knowledge, where you had Mark McKinnon and Chip.
Yep.
When they fought, and I think that was for the was it international title or world title on Muay Thai World Cup? International title, I think.
Yeah.
International title. So Chip won that title.
Yep.
I think he then went on to win a world title recently, but then he lost in Japan. He got knocked out in Japan most recently. against that guy, the Tarzan or whatever that big Dutch guy is that knocks everyone out.
Right.
And I think that was at that weight. So he would have instantly lost the world title that he only won 6 weeks earlier against Matt Baker from Wooden Man. So he then would have, if he took that fight at that weight category, I think he's then just lost that title.
So you, as a savvy, smart international coach, would have definitely not made that. You made it 1 pound higher.
If I had a Muay Thai world champion and I was going to go fight in a rule set that maybe my guy isn't as good at in kickboxing, right, against a dude who's 19-0 with 19 knockouts,
right,
I'm probably going to hedge my bets and try to make it a pound heavier.
Sure.
It's not that I don't trust my guy, but it's like, well, and I think it does apply that you lose by knockout regardless. I could be completely wrong. Like, please don't take this as gospel.
No, for sure.
But my assumption is that even though it's kickboxing, you still might lose the title because you got knocked out at that weight.
Wow.
But that's just a guess. I don't know. And look, they could have easily changed some of these rules since I was last involved with it or last learnt about it. But that's always been my understanding of how it is. It could have easily changed.
Right.
And Kevin could watch or listen to this podcast and then call me and correct me. But I'm almost certain that is still the rule set. I think it's up there on the WBC Muay Thai, but yeah. And look, I love it because at the end of the day, if you're the world champion, you shouldn't get knocked out, right?
Very true.
You're meant to be the best in the world. So, yeah.
I get it. From the actual term world champion. Yeah. I totally understand.
You're meant to be the best in the world, so you shouldn't get knocked out, right? And if you do, well then, yeah, maybe you don't deserve to hold it. So here we are. We start again.
Yep. No, I get it. Even if the rule has changed, I mean, even if it was something similar, I'm sure a lot of people don't really know that. So I think that was a pretty cool, just kind of like defending the title. I thought that was a cool thing to add in there. I don't know if you're seeing this. So I really like Aussie Muay Thai. I like it. For me, it's like in a layman's term, it's as close as I'm going to get to watching Muay Thai in Thailand with English commentary. And so I really enjoy it. But where do you feel? So we had a conversation a while ago about, I know, and I don't know how else to say this, but like Canada itself has a long way to go. And I always come back to, as far as catching up, and you see some of these Eastern Bloc countries as well. But like, even when you were here for the World Championships, there was a certain coach that, he was getting ready for his fight, and he had the stink eye, and I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, how are we supposed to call ourselves world champions when these people won't even take their shirts off because they're too embarrassed? But you want to call yourself a world fighting champion. Like, that tends to be sort of Canada maybe. but so maybe saying we're far behind, that's not fair to say. Like you said, that's easy to just bitch about, but how do you, from your eyes, now that you're kind of aware of our scene a little bit, where do you, and I know we've had this conversation a bit, but where do we need to play catch up?
I think one of the biggest difficulties, and one thing that Kieran Kettle is helping to fix, is the volume of shows. I think you get a chance to get better by having more shows because you have more chances to fight, right? So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Like what you say about Australia is we have fight shows all the time.
Right.
And, I'm away every weekend or every other weekend for fights. And so it gives our guys and girls the opportunity to get better. We personally, like for us, we don't stay as amateurs for long. Like there is, say, I don't know North America, but in America, for example, and I know that there's a lot of restrictions as far as turning pro for cost and money and volume of fighters. But in Australia, you have 3, 4, 5 amateur fights. We don't end up with 40 or 50 fight amateur records. We have 3, 4 or 5 fights and then we just go pro because they're like, all right, we're good now because we have a decent level of Muay Thai and we can compete and that's it. So I think volume of shows is one. Okay. Volume of quality shows is another one.
Sure.
I absolutely do think that refereeing and judging plays a part in it because, I can think of one friend who, in particular, who spent the last couple of years really delving into his craft as a referee and a judge. And as a result, you can see how much better his fighters are. because he understands the sport better. He understands positioning. He understands scoring, all of these kind of things. So that is obviously a big one. We have a bonus geographically being closer to Thailand.
Right.
So, we have a long history of Aussies staying and living in Thailand. We have a long history of Thais coming out. It's not easy to get them visas. Australia is difficult with visas, but there are a lot of Thai trainers living. Lots of gyms have 1, 2, 3, upwards of 4 or 5 Thai trainers. So we have a proper community here as well. So to answer your question, what could you do better? I think, there could be more people like Kieran Kettle stand up and put their money where their mouth is and try to put on bigger events or better shows.
Yeah.
Trying to support your own community is another thing. I don't know too much, but I know that there has been issues of almost like infighting.
Yes.
Like this is my turf, this is my soil, don't step on it. But at the end of the day, you're only harming the community and the quality of the community,
Yeah. Yes,
that,
I agree.
for me, I think they're probably two really big things. But you see, I've started noticing, and I message you every time, like I've started noticing more Canadians at one, more Canadians. I spend a lot of time at RWS. I've noticed a few more Canadians at RWS.
Yep.
I've noticed. So I think the other thing is just time. You just have to keep doing the right thing for long enough and have enough people doing the right thing for long enough. Man, there's plenty of places in Australia where it still sucks.
Sure,
we're not some, oh my God, it's Australia. Like, we have amazing Muay Thai and we have terrible Muay Thai too, man. We have fucking some terrible judges. We have some terrible referees. We have some shows you just wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot stick. Like, I think that exists everywhere, but we do have plenty of quality. We've got a good community. We've got a good approach to we ourselves struggle with what we in Australia call tall poppy syndrome. And so tall poppy syndrome is like being jealous of other people's success and wanting to bring them down. So one thing that I like...
Epidemic everywhere.
But one thing that I've noticed about the United States in particular, right, in America, is although sometimes they can be a bit over the top, and Americans aren't afraid to like be proud of their achievements and be proud of others' achievements and build one another up. Like, as many shortcomings as they have, that is one thing that they do really well. And in Australia, I think we have a really bad case of tall poppy. That's what Aussies refer to as tall poppy syndrome, wanting to pull people down because they're being better than you. And that can be a real issue for us. And that can be something that absolutely can hold the community back,
Right. And I just refuse to be part of that. And to be honest, that's why I do this podcast. Like I tell everybody, whoever's on here, I'm just trying to inflate everyone's tires. I'm trying to do this, like you said, I'm just trying to help grow my country's Muay Thai, for everybody. Bringing people down doesn't make me feel good. I don't really care to do that. So selfishly,
I think one thing that I've said, and I had this conversation once, we did a podcast. I don't think it ever came out because the quality was messed up, but it was like me, Matt Lucas, and Pat Rivera, who runs the WBC for the States. We did it in the hotel lobby in Bangkok. And one thing that we spoke about, I think they asked the question, like, and I said, America is at a crossroads because there's a lot of really good Muay Thai in America and there's a lot of really shit Muay Thai in America. But what they have is a massive grassroots platform. They have the amount of kids and stuff they've got competing is crazy. But if the bad technique and the bad Muay Thai overcomes the good stuff, then that's going to spread. The good stuff needs to spread, And I would say to any country and any aspiring fighters, if you can do it, you have to remember that and I think you and I had this conversation on the first time we had the podcast, is like, you can pretty much do anything in your life over except being a fighter.
Right.
You can get married again. You can do, you can do all of these things. You can go to university, you can start a new job, but you can't be a fighter again. You have a finite life of being a fighter. And if you are that intent on being the best you can be, I would strongly encourage you, even if it's for a year, to go and live in Thailand.
Right. Okay.
because it's going to do so much for you. Like, expose yourself to Thailand as much as you can. I mean, go to Japan, go to France, go to Australia, go to England. All of these countries have great Muay Thai, but there's something to be said about immersing yourself, like learning Muay Thai from where Muay Thai is supposed to be and watching Muay Thai. And I appreciate that not everyone can do that.
Sure.
And if you can scrounge up and save enough money, you can get by in Thailand pretty easy. And you don't have to go to Bangkok and stay at PK Sanchai where it costs more than it does to train back home.
Right.
You don't have to train in like big Bangkok gyms. Go to the country. Trust me, go to the country. Go to Korat, go to Buriram, go to these places in Isan. You'd be the best experience of your life.
Right. Just outside of the punch and the kick, right?
Just like, yeah, if you can do that, it's going to do so much for you, because the more people, you see it in the States with people like, you see some of these guys, you've got guys like Topic, you've got guys like Borkiao, Jalil Barnes, you've got these guys who have like lived and breathed it in Thailand or still are, and then they're going to bring it back, and it's only going to do good things.
Yes.
If that can be, the more that can be replicated, you know, we had it with some of those original pioneers. We obviously had the likes of Wayne and stuff, but we had it with those original pioneers. You're in this, it's a lot of countries are in the same position. We're just 15 years ahead.
Yep, I got you.
There's no difference. It's like, but I mean, I remember when I was looking at Canada and I was learning about, I found some old fight posters of like Mike Miles, right, for Calgary.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's been around since like forever, right? Like kickboxing and Muay Thai and these things have been around for ages.
Yep.
There are people everywhere. And even, what's that Canadian dude's name who was big back in the day?
How far back in the day?
15 years.
Oh, there's a few. Shane Campbell.
No, he spent a lot of time in Thailand.
Sean Kearney?
Nah, different guy. Fuck, anyway, I'll remember it. But yeah, the more people do this and bring it back, the better it's going to grow.
Yep. No, I agree.
And now, I think now it's like, it's leveraged because of social media, because of all of these things. Growth happens so much faster.
Very true. But so does the bullshit growth. You know, like you were saying.
So does the bullshit, man. You know, like I think so does the bullshit. Go over, learn, take as much in. If you're spending like, just if you can do it and you want to do it for 6 or 12 months, give it a go. And I've seen some Canadians recently who have done it. Like Taylor McClatchy, who fought on one. I saw her, you know, I know that she was living there. Yeah, I've seen her on RWS before as well.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Like a few of these people are starting to do it, man. I think it's great.
Yep.
Go and do it if you can.
Love it. Good.
Go and do it. And learn Thai. Learn to speak Thai. It goes a long way. Practice. Learn.
Okay. Well, there you go. I'm still trying to learn English, man.
I'll teach you Aussie English, man. I'll teach you Aussie English.
Perfect. Love it. And I'm not gonna lie, half the things the commentators say I kind of steal too. I just like how you guys talk. Like you use the words I would use. Love it.
Yeah, love it.
I'm a little curious. So something I wanted to know about, or ask you about. So we follow, at least the Muay Thai World Cup follows the WBC standard rule set. I don't know if this has always been this way. Maybe you have a little more insight. Doesn't matter, but everything counts. You know, a punch is a kick is a knee. Everything counts. And if I can recall, effective aggression, at least according to the scoring rules, is quite high. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember something off the top of my head. I know where I'm already going with this. But is that hurting the quality of Muay Thai that now we're just seeing people just running forward, brawling? I guess is that thing?
No, because the word is effective.
Sure.
The word effective is there for a reason. It's not aggression. It's effective aggression. And a punch and a kick and a knee and an elbow can score evenly, but you can't do all of those same techniques with the same power. this is where people are misinterpreting Muay Thai.
Thank you.
Let's take away. Let's for the most part exclude. Like Muay Thai is Muay Thai. Let's try to exclude. Let's look at it like as a global sport. Let's exclude some of the things like how odds affects fights in Thailand in stadiums and stuff like that, right?
Right.
For the most part, if you were to say, yes, everything scores equal, but not everything can deliver the same amount of damage.
Yeah.
And so a clean punch, like a clean punch and a clean kick, either of them can score higher.
Right.
Either of them can score lower.
Right.
Which landed on target? Which did the most damage? They're the things that we have to look for. Just because if I tap you in the head clean and I bury a kick into your body, they're not equal just because they were both clean.
Right.
It's what's effective. What did damage? They're the things that we need to look at. And how do you identify things like damage? Well, it's easy. It's like physical appearance on someone's body, how their body moves, bruising, reddening, movement, all of these kind of things. That's why we talk about in Muay Thai balance. I mean, the same can be said for, okay, we know that it's not kickboxing and you don't block with your arms, but blocking a kick and getting kicked in the arms and staying strong versus getting kicked in the arm and having it bend in. Well, it's different, right?
Yes.
The same thing goes when you check. If you check a kick and you're strong and you're back down and your body doesn't move, good. But if you check, and you fall off balance, well, they're different.
Right.
These are the things that you have to look at.
Well, and I'm not calling anybody out, but I would have to say that maybe in North America, not just my neck of the woods, that you can take out the word effective aggression and just call it aggression. And judges really seem to like that here.
As a coach, as a coach sometimes, and we used to have it a lot in the past, we don't have it anymore, where you would get there and you would look at the judges and you would go, okay, we've got to fight this way.
See, okay.
You have to fight to the judges.
Right.
And so I think but that then comes down to the original point of what we were talking about of, well, if that's what the broader community of referees and judges prefer, that's the way you have to train and that's what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, you're there to win a fight. And what's the point sometimes it goes the other way in Muay Thai and people try to look like some Tongpo weird romanticized version of Muay Thai and they're trying to be like fucking, too relaxed and too and then they just get bashed. That's not Muay Thai either, man.
Right.
That's not Muay Thai either. Sometimes we go too much both ways.
Yes.
And look, at the end of the day, you're there to win fights.
Right.
It's a fight. You're there to win fight. You can then make the separate argument. Is it good for the community? Is it good for the sport? Whatever, fine. But, man, you're there to win fights. The only problem is that then, like, the key opinion leaders or the people in the community that lead the community then have to be like, well, are these things going to help our fighters compete on an international stage?
Right.
Or on the world's biggest stage? One championship, you can be aggressive. Chances are you'll clip someone with 4-ounce gloves, no problem.
Yeah.
Most other times, especially for guys that just rush forward and punch, if that works domestically, great, but it's not going to work internationally, like block. Okay, I'm going to grab you and clinch you to death now.
Yes. Yeah. And let's be real. That's what we're finding. It works for the few domestically. And then, you get out of your little pool and all of a sudden that doesn't work anymore. So obviously I definitely get that. I have another question for you though. Do you find, listen, I know your neck of the woods. I'm calling you out, Australia. I know that you guys rib pretty hard on the influencers of, North America, the social media influencers. Now, aside to them, when I read things on Twitter and whatever else, you guys like to me too. Call it sort of an American style.
Yeah.
American. What do you think that's hurting or helping Muay Thai? I don't know how else. I'm trying not to be insulting about it, but you know
Okay,
what I mean.
so it's okay. Let's be nice for a second. It's
Wait,
helping in the sense of it's just like more people are getting involved. Okay,
I
great.
mean
More
that's
people are engaging, more people are talking. Awesome. I don't want to always be. I used to have this really bad habit of just like shitting everyone, and it used to get me in trouble. And I don't like to do that anymore because I am a nice guy and I do want to support everyone. And I
sure.
genuinely want everyone to grow. It is frustrating though, because those what happens with some of those influencers sometimes is one, they speak in absolutes. You can't do this. You have to do this. Like they speak in
Yeah.
absolutes. Muay Thai is not a sport of absolutes. Anyone who has trained fighters or fought at a high level know it's absolutely not a sport of absolutes. The second part is you they're overcomplicating it.
Yes. Yes.
Measuring this angle to this to fucking da 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 da, which is often solved by step in, turn your hip more,
Right.
punch harder. You know, like these things that people turn your hip, step in, turn. Like I see some of these guys and I'm like, they're like, oh, breaking down this and this is the angle. And if you think, and they're using these complicated metaphors, and then I watch them do it and I'm like, buddy, you can't even throw a kick. What are you talking about?
Right. Right. Right.
Or like, so that the thing that is frustrating with those people is that they're overcomplicating things that don't need to be complicated.
Yeah. Yes. I agree.
Often like the best coaches, and something that I try to do and something that I've tried to copy from like coaches that I've seen in other sports, is they just explain things really simply.
Yep.
And it's often, you don't need to overcomplicate it. Imagine in a fight, you only have, okay, for most countries, 3-minute round fight, you have a minute break. 3-minute round, 5 rounds, you get a 2-minute break. In Thailand, regardless, you have a 2-minute break, whether it's 3 or 5. For girls in Thailand, they fight 2 and 2, 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off. But
Right.
you can't, in that 1-minute break between them walking back, catching their breath and going back out again, you have maybe 45 seconds.
Yep.
Are you going to break down the fucking how Pythagoras' theorem is going to help them step in to counter the... You're not, man. It doesn't... No. What are you saying to your fighters? You're saying step into your kick more, touch before you kick,
Yep.
like long guard on their punch, counter on the hook. Like you're being very simple.
Yes.
And these overcomplications and these large metaphors, they're not helping, and they're not helping the scene more broadly, because the serious Muay Thai countries are kind of laughing at it.
Well, that's kind of what I was getting at. You know,
It's kind of funny because it's like, bro, what are you doing? And you know what? If you were explaining and breaking it down like that, one person who I'm very fond of, and I've been lucky enough to spend a lot of time with, who has quite complex strategies, is Brian Popejoy.
Sure.
And I love spending time with Brian and chatting with Brian. He's like one of the nicest dudes in Muay Thai I've ever met. He has some quite complicated like patterns and systems, but you know what? He's got results to back it up.
Damn right. That's right.
Also, he's not overdoing it. He's not saying this fucking this triangle,
Right.
this fucking, and letting his. I was going to give away who I was talking about, but even him, when he explains it, he's still quite good. He's still quite direct, still quite simple. And I just think that people are doing a disservice to their broader community when they do it, because we're looking at it going, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Right. Right.
What are you talking about? You know, like.
Yep. No, I get it. Well, and I call it like the karate man's sort of way of looking at things. Listen, I teach karate too. Matter of fact, you're supposed to do this Monday, but I got to put on my karate uniform, man. I haven't done that. I teach karate on Monday night, but like in karate, everything is so picture perfect that you're everything. It's like 80%. Listen, I'm sugarcoating things here, but 80% theory and 20% function. When it's so heavily on theory, you know how it is. It doesn't work. You need to have function in theory, and when you're overcomplicating these things, it just doesn't work. There's no need for it.
It's that old, that I think it's that old Jim Carrey skit when he's like, "Attack me." He's like, "No, not like that." you know?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it's
But they're
yeah.
popular, man. They're popular in North America. I'm not talking about a specific influencer, but that thing, that whole influencer thing, whether it's stand-up fighting, UFC, jiu-jitsu, whatever, that's got to be something I would imagine you would suggest that we just stay away from, or you know,
I don't think, man, I don't think you can stay away from it because it's always going to be there. And influencers are always going to be there. I mean, my girl, Gabrielle de Ramos, like a lot of people in the States and North America know her. She's got like 300,000 followers, fights on
right,
RWS, whatever. She doesn't do crazy breakdowns like that because I'd fucking kick her out of the gym. But,
right.
she's an quote unquote influencer, like she gets paid, like that is one of her jobs to do.
Sure.
I think it plays a really important role in the ecosystem of Muay Thai more broadly. Like, I think, there's the other side of it where people are like, just fight, don't do social media, blah, blah, blah. Guys, it doesn't work that way either, man. Like, athletes are entertainers too.
Yep.
And I just think you have to just separate the good from the bad. You have to figure out what's good, what's not. And look at the best people in the world, man. Look at the best fighters. Look at the best coaches. Look at what they're doing.
Yep.
Ask yourself, has this person trained anyone? Has this person done any of these things? If they haven't, well, but you know what? On the flip side, I've seen some of those guys then go off and actually go and try to learn from like really good coaches and fighters and stuff like this. And I think, man, how good. You're trying to learn,
Yes.
Like you said, even these guys, they're happy and they're like, look, and they teach this way and I might not agree with that. And then I see them training with this Thai or this foreigner or whatever. And I think, man, good on them. That's awesome.
Yep.
Like really cool. And you know what I say to everyone? That you can learn something from everyone.
That's right.
Even those guys, there's always something you can take away. Maybe it's like one little direction. Maybe it's something like everyone responds differently to others. Yep. And I think there's something that you can take away from everyone.
Yep. Totally agree.
I think just have like a decent level of skepticism and just be wary of.
Yeah.
And sometimes just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
I was just going to say, don't overcomplicate your mind either.
We used to say, our teachers in school in Australia used to always say, KISS, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
That was like, I feel like that's a pretty global thing. Yeah. Just keep it simple.
And Muay Thai is one of those things, where it's not a tell me thing. It's a show me thing. Like I don't care what you're saying. Show me. Who have you got? Who have you fought? What have you won? Like those are kind of the things. I don't really care what you got to say. So
your success in this sport is ultimately based upon your achievements.
Right.
Yeah. And that's pretty easy, that's pretty easy to figure out. Like there's no, there's not a soccer player winning the Ballon d'Or who's never scored a single fucking goal and never defend. Like,
right. Yep.
Yes, it's the measure of success is pretty simple. It's right there.
Yep, that's right.
Mm.
How would you describe American style Muay Thai?
Man, I think it's pretty broad, man, because I think like what I've noticed over the years, like between America and North America and Canada is it's like any country. There's good and there's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe there's like more of a prevalence of, like you say, that like forward aggression.
Yep.
Like whoever does the most wins. I think there's probably a bit more of a prevalence of that.
Yes, that's exactly correct.
But there's good and bad everywhere.
Yep. No, I agree. I was just curious. Do me a favor, shit on American Pie.
There's good and bad everywhere, man. I love coming to the States. I love going to the States and I love going to North America. And like, obviously it's been a few years since I went, but man, I love it. It's the same. I don't think every gym and every coach has a style, that they're good at teaching. And I don't think any one is better than the other. It's like, it's just, especially when you get to a high level, I tell my guys, it's like when you get to a high enough level, it's just about having the right plan.
Right. Yes, good call.
And I've seen what I would regard as like an amazing fighter get beaten by what I would regard as a shit fighter.
Yeah,
It's not, that's fighting at the end of the day. It's still a sport where the plan is for one person to physically overwhelm the other one. The only thing I would say is that Muay Thai is one going backwards, forwards, left or right, and no one direction is any greater than the other.
right. Yeah, that's a good way to say it too, to be honest. Instead you hear people say like, no, you can win off the back foot, but what does that really mean? But that was a good way to say it.
Yeah, you can win going backwards, forwards, left or right. Doesn't matter.
Yep. Nice, beauty.
You just fight to where you are, And sometimes you have entertainment shows like 3-round Muay Thai, even platforms like RWS and One Championship where they do favor going forward a little bit more.
Sure.
Because it's a bit more entertainment.
Yep. Yeah, I get that.
And even ones like where you do get penalized for being too passive.
Right. Yes. That I understand, yeah.
I will forever be a lover of 5-round Muay Thai, and I think that is like the most purest form of Muay Thai and the hardest game to play. And I think a lot of people can't play the game of 5-round Muay Thai. I think they really struggle with it. But I think sometimes the real pure form of 5-round Muay Thai that I enjoy watching is not palatable for a lot of other people. They might find it too boring or too slow, in certain parts.
And so what do you mean by that for those who maybe don't know?
So when I refer to like, let's say you've got a decent 5-round level gambling fight, which has very specific requirements and odds that change throughout the fight, which impact the end score of the fight.
Sure.
Of which parts of it are kind of negligible. It's a bit whatever. Okay. And boxers are just kind of standing there trying to figure each other out. And sometimes something as simple as losing your balance once or a slip on the canvas can mean that you lose the fight.
Right.
Or losing composure can, like in Thai, like Ceylon, which means like hot heart, is often something that the judges would give against you. To have Ceylon, which is like to be overly and show too much aggressive emotion.
Right.
That can go against you. So there's some of these things which I understand sometimes aren't as appealing when you need to make Muay Thai a sport that we want everyone to watch.
Sure. But you also operate at such a high level where it's a slip on the mat or a slight loss of composure that make the difference between those fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love it. But I just think or some people, man, I love clinching. Some people fucking hate clinching. I think clinching is I think overall, if you were to say what is the part of Muay Thai that a lot of people don't get right, would probably be clinching.
Yes.
But for some people, it's not their cup of tea. The same way when I was watching that one card the other day and it was so sick, and then that fucking 10-minute submission grappling match came on and I was like, turn it off, bro.
Yeah, me too. Listen,
man, yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand, man. Awesome. Listen, I'll let you go here right away. But I'm curious from Coach Kieran, can you give, all of our friends fight night are going to be fighting, maybe not the juniors, but 5 2-minute rounds if they're amateur. I know we talked about that. Don't worry about the 2-minute thing. Or 5 3s as a pro. What are some things that you would like to see our fighters do to impress you on November 29th, Saturday night?
If you're fighting 5 3s, I would love to see you build into the fight.
Yeah.
As opposed to, for better lack of a term, blow your load in the first 2.
Just win 3 of the 2 of 5.
I would like to see, I would like to see you build into it. I think one thing that a lot of people get wrong, especially if you're fighting 5 rounds for the first time, is one area that I often see people make the mistake is they just go too hard at the start. and they've got nothing for the backlot. On the flip side, sometimes you have guys and girls that can just go for 5 rounds, and they are the hardest to fight. If you can go for 5 rounds, go for 5 rounds. But, build into it. But also, like, be entertaining. Like, at the end of the day, you're there to fight. Fight hard. Kick hard. Punch hard. Knee hard. Don't tap. Don't tap. Muay Thai ultimately is a game of damage.
Right.
You go there to do damage. And I think sometimes people go, bah, 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 and it does nothing when they could go bang, bang.
Yep. Totally agree.
Like if I can say, I want to see people, man, hit hard, do damage, and like put on a show for the crowd, put on a show for the people who have maybe never been to a Muay Thai show and they're going to Muay Thai World Cup for the first time.
Yes.
Make that person leave there going, whoa, I'm going to go and look up where the closest Muay Thai gym is in my area.
Beauty. There you go.
Like put it on, man. And like, if you're there, if I've met you the first time that I came to Canada, if you've ever seen any of my guys fight, if you've never heard of me before in your life, come and say hello, because I would love to meet you. I just love meeting people as well. So if you're around, say hello, and I'm just looking forward to the fights, man.
Yeah, me too, man. And seeing you again. Listen, I've said it before to you and everyone else. Like, you changed my life, man. For a while, I hated you because of it, but we're on the right side of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, man.
Good. Love it.
All right. Anything else before we're out of here, sir?
No, that's it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I've got my, I was going to say beanie pack, but you say toque, right? Is it a toque?
Toque.
A toque. Fuck, man. Yeah. Well, it's spelled, we would read it as toque. That's the most Canadian word ever, toque. If you can't, and if you're talking to me and you can't understand me, just tell me to slow down.
There you go.
Because Americans find it hard to understand me sometimes. A toque, that's so fucking funny. We would say toque. A toque is like a toque. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that's something different over here.
It's the same, right? It's the same, right? A toque.
Yes.
Fuck, I know someone who's going to laugh their ass off at that. I can't wait till they hear it. I'm going to tell them now. Yeah, man, I've got my warm clothes ready. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Beauty.
It's summer here, so I'm ready.
After the fights, man, we'll chum around. We'll have a wobbly pop or two, and as per usual, I'll probably regret it Sunday morning.
Oh, and if you've got recommended food spots in Calgary, hit me up. One of my favorite things when I go traveling. If you've listened to this, you made it all the way to the end. If you have a go-to place for food in Calgary, please message it to me, because that's my thing when I travel.
Yes.
I love eating, man, and I love food. So if there's anyone around who's made it to the end of this podcast, let me know your go-to spots in Calgary to eat, because I want to know about them.
And if you haven't, fucking shame on you. You should have been making all the way. All right, man. Listen, good luck out there. And as always, man, looking forward to seeing you and talking shop and learning as well. You're somebody who my cup is always half empty. I'm always willing to learn, including the things you had to say today. I love how you say things, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, man.
All right, brother. Good luck, hey?
Thanks, man.
Talk soon, man.